Hello everybody. This is William Hall Auto Interiors. What we're working on today is a 1972 Ford F-100 truck seat. You can see the backrest. I'm going to try to explain some stuff as we go through this. The backrest, we already put a cover on it. We had done got to that point, but I saved the bottom and I hadn't made the cover. Well, partially made the cover to kind of speed the video up a little bit. But I can explain to you exactly how we done a lot of the stuff, and that's what I'm going to do. Sometimes I come up here a little early. So, anyway, where we're at right here is this part right here. This seat right here was made to be anchored to the backrest of the seat. It's got some bolts that go here. Or you could take it this loose and lean it forward, because these arms right here are a little bit long. We took and put the spring felt on here. We put some high density pad on here. This is the spring felt or carpet jute, whatever you want to call it. We put this over on the other side of the burlap. It makes it stronger. We took and sandblasted the frame, painted it, made it all look brand new. The guy wanted bolsters put on here, so we built it up just a little bit, not too much, not to where somebody couldn't sit in the front seat. So if you look at it close, you can tell it's just raised just a little bit right here, a little bit in the center, and a little bit on the sides. The cover was glued on. We sewed the diamond pleat in it. Sometimes if you don't know, how to sew a diamond, I'm gonna try to. I'll explain it how to do a diamond. A lot of people will sew squares in it and then turn it sideways, and that's not a diamond. And even the supplier at one time was selling material that was sewed squares and they just turned it sideways. And a square turned sideways is not the diamond shape. So if you've ever wondered how it was done, I'm gonna explain it to you how it's done. I'll take this piece of foam right here. It's just a scrap piece, and I'm gonna show you a little bit about how to draw a diamond out. I mean, this wasn't part of my plan right here, but I am going to take a minute and show you how to draw a diamond out. A lot of people that maybe that's learning. I know all you trim shop guys. Good morning. A lot of you trim shop people probably already know how to draw a diamond, but so there might be some people out here that don't. So, all right, so here we go. If just say you're gonna make a 3-inch diamond, whatever you do, you come up, you go across here with your 3 inches. You go up the hill here twice that much. So here's 3 inches. All right, watch. 1, 2, 3. Okay, but we're not going to do the whole thing. We're just going to do a few. I'm just a sample. All right, we're going to come up the hill here. All right, here's 6. I didn't want to turn my ruler around all the way. We're gonna come right over here because like I said, I'm not gonna go all the way across the thing. We're gonna come up the hill here, 18, and I'm just gonna make a small section of it, just so you can have the idea how to do it. Okay, and then we're gonna go up the hill here, 6. This is just 3 inches. If it's a smaller pattern and stuff, sometimes you might want to make it smaller, or you might want to make it a little bigger. All right, but this is the way you do it. You come right here. Line it up. This right here, you can go across like this right here. That's 2.5. 2.5. Just like that. That's the same as me drawing it at 2.5. Makes it work. It's just like me drawing the measuring it off at 3 or 6. So here's your that's like a 3-inch diamond. You go, it's not a square, and then you come right over here to this side, because I want to, all right, that's 3 inches, that's 6 inches. And that makes the diamond shape. And that's not a square, you know, so whenever you sew it and you pleat it, and all you do is just go right on up the hill, just like this, just the same way I went across here. You go up just like that the same way. Well, I'll do a couple more here. Now, like I said, that's 3 inches right there. So across like that is like 2.5. 2.5. Just like that. In case you run out, all you gotta do is just measure across the other ones that you got. Like, just measure across here and you'll know. And that's the way you draw diamonds. You glue it on and you pleat them. Sometimes it's best to pleat them all one way and then go back and pleat all of them that way, because sometimes it'll move that line just a little bit right in there. But so this is what it looks like when it's all done. And I already got some done, so on the other one. That's what it looks like when you pleat it all up. And if it's diamond button and tuck, or not button and tuck, but diamond tuck, not button and tuck, but diamond tuck, what you do is you come right in here and you stick a button in here and you pull it down. You stick a button in here and you pull it down. Button in here. And it makes it look a whole lot better. But he didn't ask for that, so I'm not going to do it. But it does make it look better, but it pulls some of the pad out of the seat. But it looks better. Diamond tuck. All right, we're going to come right here. I had a guy came into the shop yesterday, said he knows how to do upholstery work. He wanted a job. So I told him, he said he'd been doing it a long time. So I told him, I said, come back Monday. And a lot of the questions that I asked him kind of like caught him off guard a little bit. You know. He told me he was really, really, really good. So, and I asked him how long it would take him, you know, to do something like that, and he said that, oh man, that might take me a couple of weeks. And I'm hoping that he was joking. This is like a little 1/4-inch pad right here, headliner type pad. I use it a lot of times to smooth out a seat, and that's what I cut that piece right there for. Just a little 25 inches, and we use these small pieces like this around the shop. So I'm going to show you on this one. This is the original piece. You see right here where I put the 1/2-inch jute on here. And I went back over it and put the burlap on it. Makes it a lot stronger. Plus it gives it a little bit more height, just a little bit. And that's another reason that I didn't go with a 1/2-inch on top of this. All right. I put these pieces on here. That's what it is. It's a high density pad. We put it right here on the sides. We put it right here in the center. And we put it over here. And all I did was cut it down. You might have seen me cut it down on that other backrest, but you just cut it down and take your buster right here, your sander, and smooth it out a little bit, you know, because you want it smooth. You know, whenever you put a cover on top of something, you want it to be smooth. So I'm just going to smooth it up with this. A little bit smoother than what it is. You heard me say before, you don't want this right here too high. Your backrest is going to sit on top of it. It's got a 1/2-inch. It's already into the backrest cover. I put another 1/2-inch on this one, plus this right here, plus this pad right here. You got to make allowances for all this stuff. I mean, you just can't stick a whole bunch of pad on there and expect it's going to work, because it's not. It'll make the cover tight. It'll wrinkle. It'll make the seat where it won't lean all the way back like it's supposed to. There's a bunch that factors into this. You got to think that far ahead. And if you don't, then you're going to run into some issues that you wasn't foreseeing. And then you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to do something a little bit different. Hold on. I got to turn this fan on, y'all. When I'm spraying glue, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but the fan is actually outside on top of the building. And you hear the suction in here, but I want to make sure I get it really good down in these low areas right here, because that's where the pool's going to be whenever I put the other cover on. that sit for just a minute. This is one of them China knives. These knives, whenever you use them, I don't know what it is about foam. It will dull a razor blade quick. So we're gonna come right in here. That's where the seat belts go through. Really want that piece glued on good, just like I do the cover. So we'll wait just for a second and give it just a minute to see it. This guy had glued a cover on his dash, and I don't know what kind of glue he used, but it was good. It looked like it came out of a spray can, and I have seen not a lot of glues that come out of a spray can that work good. We're gonna come right in here, cut that seatbelt hole out. Just like that. I'm gonna turn this over. See if I can't roll it a little bit on this bottom side. This part that rolls over a little bit right here, my dog got that. I try to teach him better, but yeah, it's like he wants to do upholster work. Try to teach him, leave it alone. You can take and put some relief cuts in here if you wanted to, and pull that on around. Like that. I'm kind of excited and really curious to see how good the new guy's going to be. I've waited a real long time to find somebody that's really good, as he says he is. So, really curious about that. Trim that up, my dog. He don't act right. Alright, so we got that smoothed out. That's a little bit smoother. You know, you just need to rub it down in the seams where the bolsters are. Just do it smooth. Needs to be attached real good, because I'm going to put another cover on top of it. So that's the way you put the bolsters in, just like that. Smooth them out a little bit. You could build them up if you wanted to. I just don't like them that high. Somebody might want to sit over here on it, you know, and if they do, then who wants to sit on a hump that high? Now I've seen them all kind of ways, so everybody's got their own vision. Give me just a second. I had to call my daughter to get her up sometimes. That's what I had to do. Make that phone call. Okay. I got to make the cover for this because the cover that was on there was it was kind of homemade. It didn't fit real good, so I'm gonna take the frame and stick it over here and start cutting out these patterns. That foam wraps around that spring. Since 1972, it ought to be fitting pretty good. Okay. Like I said, I already cut this piece. I mean, I sewed this piece right here. I hadn't trimmed it or nothing, but I did sew it. We got to line this up. Make sure I get it just right. Need to try to find your center mark right here. $61, so that would be 30 and a half. Try to work from the center out. Plus, that's your line up mark whenever you go to put the cover on. Put your line up mark in the center. 8 and a half, so that's 4 1/4. Alright, so what I'm going to do is line this up. And see how much you want hanging over the front. I'm thinking right about there. Let me see if you can see that. I can't look at the camera and tell if you can see that much, but anyway, that's the way you do it. Just like that is line it up in the center. Figure out how much you want hanging over in the front, like this. I don't think it needs to be back up here, right behind her legs. I think it needs to go over just a tad, about like that right there. So you take this and if you're not real familiar with any scissors or how to do this word right here, you need to take your time and maybe go up under here with a marker like this and mark it kind of like that right there, so you find out where you're at. But I'm gonna come right in here and I'm just gonna cut it. And I'm gonna look as I go like that to see where I'm at. Because once you cut it too short, you made a bad mistake. Yeah, and that's a bad one. That means I would have to possibly resew this piece, make a new piece right here, and then go back and undo it. Try to undo the mistake. But that's where I'm at right here. I can tell a little bit more needs to come off back here at the back. Sometimes a little bit can go a long way, so You want to fix that just right. Got my center mark right here. I know exactly where I'm at. Both sides are the same. I'm gonna cut this other side by hand, and then I'm gonna fold it and see how far off I am. You know, you don't want to be too far off. So I'm gonna come right in here just like I did the other side. You can always go back and trim it. You just cannot go back and add none to it unless you redo it. So you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. I'm taking, fold this right here over. And we're gonna check it and see how close we are. And if you look at that, you can tell that this side, I cut it a lot different. So I might have to go back. I'm gonna look at it first. All right, I'm gonna look at it and see which one fits the best. Got my center mark. Got that. I'm thinking that you know, I want both sides just alike. Before I make a mistake, you know, I want to make really positively sure that I got this right here just exactly 100% the way I want it. That does look good right here. And this side right here, it looks good right here. I'd rather cut it looking at it than I had like just cut it and not know. That's close, but I mean just a little bit right there, maybe a quarter of an inch could come off, but I don't want to go too much. When you're making these covers and you cut your own patterns and stuff out, you got to be really, really careful in what you're doing. All right, so we're gonna look at this. I think I can get by with this. I think that'll work good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here. And we're gonna sew around that. Okay. You got people coming. What you gonna do? You think she'll show up? You ain't been there long. I just didn't know what you had planned. Okay. This is supervisor. Okay. That's what you're gonna do. Alright. Okay. Yeah. I know you did. You told me about that. Alright. Love you, sweetie. Bye. Okay, so I sewed around that just to kind of lock it in. A lot of don't do that. The next thing is this tail right here. They call it the tail, right here on the back side of the seat, and it needs to be sewed on before I put this welt cord on here like this. That tail needs to be on there, so I'm gonna measure it and see how long it's got to be. When you're doing these covers like that, it takes a lot of measuring. So you got to you want it to look really good whenever you get to the end of the job. So that's a big deal on lining it up in the front, finding out where you want it at, and then coming back here. This right here's your tabs. That's where you're gonna hog ring to. So I'm gonna give myself about 3/4 of an inch to sew a loop. That's to put my hog ring in. Come right here. So I'm gonna say 3.5 inches all the way across. Things like that's important when you're doing this. So I take the seat, move it down. Naturally, this ain't wide enough. It's 54 inches wide. So I'm gonna have to add a little piece to it. I think I might have some scrap piece right there. 3.5. know that's 54. I don't know if I got enough short pieces over here to get a to make it to the other end. I got a little scrap piece right here. I'm gonna try to use it just to make it to the other side without having to cut a piece off the roll. Like I said, all this is the tail to anchor it. I'm gonna come right here. Gonna put this edge on here, put a top stitch on it, make it lay down flat. I've seen a bunch of them do it. They don't necessarily put a top stitch on it, but I think the top stitch will make it lay down easier and look better. Just like that. Before I put this on, I should have sewed that loop in there. What I was talking about, that 3/4 extra that I left on there, I should have just made that loop, but I'll do it right now. My new helper said that he's used to a servo motor. A servo motor, you can set it and make it run really slow. It don't have no clutch on it or nothing like this, so it runs really slow, like boom, boom. And whenever you do that with a servo motor, it's good if you're learning. and you're scared you're gonna make a mistake. But if you're trying to get done with the job, you need that motor to go kind of a certain speed. You know, you need to get that job done. Yeah, we like to get it done, and that way. I did that, so I measured that one there so I could make sure that where I put it together right here is right in the center. I didn't want it halfway or wherever. You know, I wished I was more of a YouTube creator. You know, I can do this thing, edit it, make it look like it was a show going on. You know, but at this I just don't. I don't know how to do it and to make it look like a show that's going on. You know, take all the mistakes out, stuff like that. You know, that would be good to do that. I'm gonna be going around the curve on the seat right here. I don't know for sure if I want to go. Thinking I want to put a piece right in here is the way they were made. That's right. Here. We get a little. That looks about like 13 to go around the front of the seat. If you can see that. Or I'm saying, yeah, you can see it. You know, to go around the front of the seat right here, it looks about like a 13. So this material is 54, 56, 55. It's usually 54, but it's a little over 54 3/4. So we're gonna come right here. We're gonna mark a 13. This is just for the front. Come right here, find the center. This side right here, we're gonna make that about a 15 or 16 because I got to cut it. I want to make sure I got enough. We're gonna make that 16. People wonder why it takes so much material. I do have some patterns to these Ford truck seats, but I don't think I got one to this one. I don't think. Especially with these bolsters on here, you know. I do have some the bolsters on it, so it's that alters the boxing, which is what I'm doing right here. So hopefully I got everything that I need to put this boxing together. You know, if I do one side, that's gonna match the other side, and speeds the process up. So all I gotta really do is make sure I got this one side right here just right. All right, there's my center mark. I'll stamp my hand. To me, needs to be right about there because we wanted that to roll over a little bit in the front, so like that. Like that. I made that a little bit, just a tad long. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come right in here. Let me make sure you can see this. It needs to come up on the corner right here just a little bit. So I'm gonna come right in here, and I'm gonna take about maybe a half an inch off of it. Not a lot, just a half, like this. Come right in here. All right. And right in here, right here on this corner where I want it to go up, I want it to go up just a tad. I'm gonna come right in here and I'm gonna angle that up. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Okay. So now since I angled that up, let's try it again. Once I put my little V in there. All right, we're right here. We're going up the hill. Right there. So I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna mark this. That's where my material goes. So this piece, I might stick it back up there, but I'm gonna take this side corner right here. This side corner right here, I'm gonna take this. We want it flat on the sides. Just like that. And I'm gonna come right here and mark it. Right there. Right there. Just like that. Then I got me a pattern. That's my pattern. Come right here. That's going to take the slack out right here in the front, hopefully. Now we're doing the other side. I'm leaving this tail right here long from here to here. Because whenever I slip it on, that's whenever I'm gonna mark it to find out exactly where I need to hog ring it to this seat. All right, we got this. We got this. We got this. And we're fitting to sew some of it together. Hoping we got this shit in the right place. Before I actually sew it onto this seat right here, before I actually sew it onto this cover, I'm gonna check it. Yeah. Being good also means that you don't do some stuff without checking it. You know? So whenever I check it, all I'm gonna do is like this right here. I'm gonna come right here. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna check this piece. I'm gonna go over there and stick it on the seat and make sure that what I'm doing is legit. You know, it's gonna do what I'm thinking it's gonna do. So we'll come right here, line it up right there with my mark. Come right here, line it up in the center. And it does look like it's taking the slack out. So, you know, that's one of the main things. And another thing is while I got it right here, now I can go ahead and cut this right here. To the length that I need that. You know, I don't. So I want that just like that. That way I can curve it down the hill. Right. You know how it is. Right, here we go. Being it's line and we know it'll work. That's the main thing. To know where you're at. Everybody can't see in the dark. Everybody can. All right, and then once I put this piece on, once I put it on the seat, then I take it over there and I pull it because it'll help me hold it. See, I pull it down and then I mark it where I sew my loop into the cover. Even though it's a little more aggravating to do it that way, you know, to sew it like that. All right, we're gonna come right here. All I'm gonna do is come right here and sew a little top stitch on it. Right here. You do need to pull that apart like that. Make it lay down. So now it's time to sew this piece right here on. And you see right here, I left, got shit everywhere. I left the tail down here where the hog rings go. I left it open. So normally I would measure or whatever and just sew a loop on it. But on this seat right here, I want to make sure that everything's lined up just right to where it goes on, doesn't fit like a glove. Put me a little line up mark on there so I know exactly where I'm at. If you're not real familiar with this, with doing this right here, you probably need to get somebody to help you hold it and line it up. Like, put some marks around it. Like, zip, 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 zip. And then on this right here, you know, you kind of line it up like that. And, that way you can sew it together. Sometimes when you see me doing this right here, if you watch me sew, sometimes I'll push this top material, push it. Sometimes I'll pull it, but sometimes you push it to make it do what you want it to do. I'm gonna stop right here and show you something that you really need to know when you're doing this type work. This is the center. This is the center of the seat. There's my mark, my center mark. That's my little notch that I put in the bead right here. This part right here, if you can see, that part right there needs to line up always. It don't need to be a 1/4 of an inch back here. If it's a half inch back here, when you get around here, it's going to be an inch short. If it's a half inch here and you're back a half inch here, you're going to be an inch short back here. Unless you pull it, and then it's going to still make some problems. But it don't need to be a half inch over. If it's a half inch over right here, you come back way back here and you push it a little bit, and you can get a half inch back out of it. I think everybody sews, got their own technique on how they do stuff. This is just the way I learned. And another guy in town, he don't do it this way. He starts in the middle and then turns it around and goes back the other way. But if you've been doing it like this your whole career, then you're probably going to get good at it like this. And to me, it's a little faster. So we got our boxing on. Cross your fingers. I may even double check it sometimes if you mess up. So we're gonna find out if it's gonna work. And if it does, I'm gonna turn the seat upside down. I'm gonna show you how to mark it to put your wire in. Like that. Line it up in the center. Line it up with my mark right here. It ain't glued down. I am gonna glue it down, but I can't, I can't do it right this minute because I'm trying to get these patterns. So we got it right there where we want it. I'm gonna take it, flip it over. Just like this. It's really this side right here, because I measured just right here, to get it just right there. Okay, we're gonna come right in here. Right here. And I'm gonna put me a little mark right here. I'm gonna pull it down, put me a mark right here. Right here. Come up. Okay. So that's where I'm at right here. I'll show you what I've done. You probably couldn't see me do it, but I'm gonna show you anyway. Right here. All right. I pulled this right here back, left myself enough that I can sew me a lip right there. I come right here. This right here needs to be a little, right here. From right here, that's a gathered spot right here. So right here, I'm gonna cut that out and sew that right there together. This part right here comes down, it leaves me a little bit to go down on the bottom side right there and sew me a loop. Even right in here. And right here, this right here, I might sew me a little bag on it just to get me across. And if you look right here, I need to cut this section right here, right in here, and fold that back. And I'll do it the same way on the other side. Once I get this side right here cut off, right here, I'll take it and lay it on the other side and just trace it right out. Does that make any sense? Come right here. I'll show you once I get to that point. important. I know it probably don't, but I'm telling you, this part right here is pretty important. And while I'm here, I'm gonna line this up. Got it all in the center. I'm gonna come right here, down through these holes, and I'm gonna mark where these seat belts go. He ain't even got no seatbelt retainers. Like, I'll have to look and see if I got some. But he didn't have any. Well, we're gonna back this up. I'll come over here and get some material. When I took that 1/2 inch part out of the top side, it kind of messed me up just a little bit. So we're gonna come right here. I'm gonna get me a little more, and I'll just sew this as my bag to put my wire in. All right, so that'll be my bag for the wire. Covers right here. We're gonna take and cut this section right here out. I'm gonna take and cut these. Boom, boom. That right here, I'm gonna fold it back, just like that. You don't have to glue it. Here's my pattern right here, so I'm gonna take this pattern. Right here, I'm gonna cut this right here off. And there's my pattern. That's the piece that I'm gonna take and put over here. And I'm gonna trace this right here out. Just like that. Take that, throw that down. I did have a little notch right here where I was going to cut it out on the other side. It's a little V. That's to take that slack out whenever it goes around that curve. See, I didn't even cut it out on this side right there, but I will. Just like that. Now it's ready. I'm ready to sew the bag on here, and when I sew the bag on here, it's going to make it where I can put my wire in it. So we'll go just like that. I thought I was about out of glue. While I'm sewing that right there, I'm gonna try to spray that just a little bit and let it be sitting. So I'll show you that, you know, while I'm just waiting. I don't want to be waiting, but while I'm sewing this other, this right here, can have a little bit of a base on it. That way, whenever I spray it again, it'll have a good foundation to stick to. Just like that. Okay. So now we'll come over here and sew this right here up. We're going to come right here. You know, that was just a little bit short right here. That's the reason I'm going to sew this bag on it. We're going to come right here. So I'm gonna take this right here, sew my little bag right here, back together. Well, you can't see. I'm gonna sew these pieces right here down. But I need to sew that V in here first. If I could bring you around here on this side to where you can see it with the camera, you might see more about what exactly is going on. I'm gonna try. I don't know how this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try. I need a different camera, I think, or a different stand. I could probably make one. Having to lower it down, everybody. Okay. Can you see? Can you see? I'll try to make it where you can see. I'll try to stay out of the way. We're gonna take and sew that 1/2 inch, or maybe a little bit more than a 1/2 inch right here. I did not sew that V in there like I was planning on, so I'm gonna come back in here before I get too far ahead of myself, and I'm gonna sew this V. This is to take the slack out. That's all that is to take the slack out. So I'm gonna come right here. Wait. I done took it out. Hold on. That wasn't my V. That was something else. Don't tear up. Okay. This was that was my V. This right here is the bag on the side. So I'm gonna take this piece and it goes just like this. Just like that. Now, got these threads, the long threads I put on there off. All right. Now this part has to be sewed around. And to make it to where you can sew it around, I'm gonna have to take this part right here and cut it right here just a little bit. Just like that. Where I can get my wire in it. All right, that's what I'm gonna put my wire in to anchor this boxing around the edge of the seat. And I got this, what I just sewed, and I'm gonna put it, on this little edge right here, like this. See, I notched it out because those tracks, them legs that the tracks mount to, they stick down a lot. And I notched it and hemmed around it to where, not that nobody's gonna ever get down up and lay down up under the seat, but just to make it to where it's not frazzling or anything like that. You don't want it to look bad. I'll come over here and do this side, same way. Somehow or another, I think I did that side over there wrong. I think I did this side right here wrong. So help me, I do. I think I did it wrong. There was a section there that looked like a V, and I think I sewed it up. I was supposed to sew the other one up. See, if I was doing edited videos, you'd never see this right here. You would never know it. I could come in here and take this right here out, and you'd be saying, damn, he don't never make no mistake. I sewed that wrong right there. The V was right here. Yeah, the V was right here. This was is just the edge of the seat. I mean the edge of the where the wire goes in right here. You got to fix it while you're fixing. You know what I mean? That way, you don't miss it. You get over there and mount it on the seat, and you got a problem. You got a problem then. Alright, so now we'll come back and put it to where the wire goes right here. Now that's fixed. Okay, so that's the way it's supposed to look, like that. That right there anchors, that's an anchor, that's an anchor. And now I go to this side. Put me a little split in there, just like I did the other side. Nice. Run on my bobbin. I say a top loading bobbin that you can open it up and see it real good, but you can tell if you're fixing to run out. All right, let's start over. All right, now I've got to come right here on this side. I had this little piece where I split it, put this back in there. Put this piece right here back in there, right here, hold it down. All this is to hold some wire. I mean, I could use listing, but it don't look good. But it would hold. All right, so here we. Maybe this is my piece I was gonna sew across the front. No, I already got it sewed across the front. Okay, so now it's ready to put some wire in it, glue it on, cover's made. So we'll come over here. Give me just a second. I'm letting these legs back out so I don't have to hold the camera. Just a second. Okay. I think I got it. All right, so I'll come over here, set you up. If you remember, I marked these right here. Right here. That's the holes where the seat belts go through on the seats. I'm thinking that, I'm almost sure he didn't have none. What are they? I'm almost sure he didn't have any. Let me see if I can find some. I got some, but they're gray. That ain't gonna look good. Just to make sure, you know, I got the towel to make sure there wasn't any. Hey, Weston, was there any seatbelt discussions on the seat covers that come off of the 72? Okay. I'm trying to see if I got anything close to this color right here. Because the seatbelt discussions are gray. So right there, you know, that looked like crap. If I had a brown or something like that, that's parchment, that's camel. might have to use something like that, but let that dry then. Still don't look just right. If I had a darker color like that right there, they would look 100% better. All right, we're gonna come right here and cut these holes out for the seat belt. Make sure that we get them just right. Wouldn't that be bad to cut them in the wrong place? He didn't really have none in his seats, so we're having to improvise. It's lucky that I actually have a set, even though they're wrong color. This heat right here will kind of fast dry it a little bit. So I'm gonna warm them up, spray them again. Want to make sure I don't get it too hot, just heat. I know the color's way off. I mean, it's way off, but I don't know. I can look and see if I got some more, but I mean, it might look better black. Neither one of these right here. I mean, this one right here is darker, but neither one of these look right. What do you do whenever you get a hold of something that don't look 100%? I mean, what do you do? That don't look right. That don't look right. 1 second. 1 second. I mean, I've done some of this stuff like this before, so I'm gonna look and see if I got something that we can tint. I'm looking for black. I know I got it. I just can't find it. Got a little bit of black. Sometimes when you're in a tat, you you can kind of tint it a little bit. So black, when you can't tint dye with black, it don't take much. Looking for something to spray on. I don't want to get it everywhere. Yeah, when you tint paint with black, I'm trying to kind of tint it and get this color right here. So we're gonna try to make it we're gonna make a damn mess. All right, here we go. Get a little red, a little burgundy. I'm just trying to get out of a squeeze, y'all. Trying to get out of a squeeze here, so bear with me. Like I said, it don't take much black. I'm about out of this. If I had a way to mix it, but I don't. Cannot. I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't do it. I had a way to mix it, but I can't. I can't mix it in the air. Mm-mm. All right, we'll let it dry. Maybe black. Maybe if I just did them black. Don't black go with everything? Yeah, black does. You know, once you mix dye, we do have a sim dye mixing bank, but that right there ain't gonna go. That just ain't gonna work. That's gonna look bad. The only other choice we got is to spray them black. Okay, we'll let that dry. Shouldn't take it just a second. Dye does dry really quick. You can set this stuff out in the sun and it will really dry quick. Alright, while that's drying, I'm gonna spray this foam. Let that be sitting. Cut me some wire. We need some good straight wire, so we'll come up here and tie it to the chair. So this wire's all crinkled up. So we'll take this and stick it in the drill. And it makes it a little stiffer. Makes it a little harder. Okay. So we'll come just like this. Pull it tight. If I can get it out from under the sewing machine, right there. Pull it tight. If I can keep it in the drill. Whoa, don't let the dash fall. If you take and twist this wire right here with a drill, it'll make it really straight. Make it really straight, and you can kind of, and it makes it stiffer too. That comes so close to falling. So, if you look at it, you can see that it's rigid and stiff. And we take and cut it off just like this. Fold that in right there over, where I can push it through that material without it catching on anything. But first, I'm gonna stick these brand new things out of the way. Being they going on his seat, they're brand new now. We're gonna come right here. Spray the glue on there, let it be sitting for just a minute. We'll put the seat cover on. You don't have to spray it all the way up to the edge. I don't even know if you can see me. I don't even know if you can see me. You don't have to spray it. You don't have to spray it all the way up to the edge. You don't have to spray this close, and you don't have to spray it all the way to the end. You can put a little bit right here just to line it up, like that. You want to spray it where the dip goes, and you want to spray it right in here where the dip goes. Just like that. Dye don't wear good in a high traffic area. It feels like it's close to being dry. So what I'm gonna do is to keep from scratching them. I'm gonna lay this terry cloth towel up under here. These are the locking rings right here that locks them in place. Okay, so we got those in place. Wasn't my color. I mean, I wouldn't have picked that. But all right, make sure we got the foam in the right place on the seat. All right, you line up your center mark right here. Line up my seatbelt holes. Make sure I got it to where I can hook that hard ring, because it ain't gonna be doing no stretching. Got my holes lined up right there. It's important to line this up in the center. It's really important to get that center line right here lined up. It's real important. I mean, you're trying to work from the center out. So that's what we're trying to do. We need to get it exactly where we need it in the front. Now, this is going to be glued on. I mean, that right there in the back, you need to know that you got your this holder right here for your wire. It needs to be perfect. All right, making sure that right there's lined up. Shit, that glue is sticking. I don't want to give up. I think I got it in line. Okay. I'll put this foam right here in place. Pull it down. It's a little cool out here. I'm just going to warm it up just a little bit, make it where I can pull it easier. All right, so hopefully that's going to be in place. I'm going to turn it over. Come right here, put me a little slice in here. So right here, put my straight wire in there. Okay, got the wire in there. Now it's time to put the hog rings on it. You can look right there. The lines lined up right in here. Just checking, making sure that everything lines up just right. this is the reason, you know, it takes a little while to do this, is whenever you're doing these seats like this, you know, you want all that stuff to line up just right. To where whenever you get right here, that this seat, all these pieces right here line up. See where it goes around, where I put that V in there, where it goes around. I think I'm gonna take and anchor that right there to a spring. That way it ain't in the way. But like that. You want it to fit exactly right. You don't want a whole bunch of slack or stuff like that. You want it to be exactly right. Not a whole bunch of wrinkles on this side over here, like right over here. You want it smooth like that right there. That's the way you want it. I mean, if it's not like that, probably gonna have to do some stuff a little different. Just like that. This right here, I may have to steam that right there just a little bit to get it out, or either come right in here and pull a little bit back. I ain't got to take it all the way loose, but I just got to pull it back just a tad. Like right in here. Right in here, just a little bit. All right, so I took about a 1/2 inch out. Right in here, I'm gonna take a little bit more out. And make it easier to put the steam on that right there. Come right in here. I'm trying to do them corners to where I get the corners and stuff to look exactly right. Come right up here, pull it just a tad. Just like that. All right. We're gonna turn it around and look at that, see what that looks like. Ain't got the back pulled yet. Right here, this tail right here, I never pulled that, so I'm gonna come right in here. Just like that. This is why it's important to have a steamer. I'm gonna show you all that right there. Oh, that steamer will take out all of that. while I'm waiting on the steamer to heat up, I'm gonna do this side right here. I'm gonna go ahead and hook that to the spring like I did the other side. I'm gonna have to take some of these out and pull that in just a little bit. Pull it that way. And take the slack out over here. And just work it. Work that slack out. Okay. I'm gonna steam any of the imperfections and stuff that's in it. I'm gonna steam them out. This steamer right here usually takes it right out. Let me turn this around where you can see what I'm doing. I may wind up taking some of that back right there loose and pulling it toward the back. And that's what's going to have to happen. All right, you see the wrinkle right in here? So I'm going to take these right here out. And I'm gonna come right here. I'm gonna take this one out in the back, right here. And I'm gonna pull it. But I'm gonna heat it up before I do. Now, like I said, it's kind of cool in here. If I'd have took a little bit more out of my pattern right in here, I wouldn't be having to do this. You know, I'm gonna put that wire in there. That wire's so stiff, but I do have it loose, so it ain't going nowhere. Okay. You see the difference when I pulled it back on the back side? It does make it. I mean, it makes a difference the way you put it on. So, I mean, when I put that leg there, that's gonna pull that in, and if there's anything in there, I mean, it's gonna pull it out because I got that backrest leg. This side right here, and the heat makes a big difference. You know, if you ever watch somebody paint a picture, I mean, some people can paint real good, and some people don't do as well. I mean, and upholstery work is kind of like, you know, kind of like you can make some mistakes, and then if it ain't working out just right, you go back and you try to fix them, and that's what you can always go back if it ain't too bad and fix them, like I'm doing right here. When I heat this up and I pull it back, it's going to take a lot more out than when it's cold. Believe it or not, this seat right here's got to look pretty good because, you know, it wasn't cheap. I would want mine to look really, really, really good. I still got the steamer on, so. You get that real flexible, you can see how it jiggles now. Get it real flexible where I can pull it back. All right, so I'm sure that'll steam out. the other side. That steam really works good on getting stuff like any kind of imperfections and stuff out of it. All right, so that's done. We can turn it over and look at the cover. If there's any places on there I got to rub, I'll do it. Okay, so right in here, you want to make sure that you push it down where it's glued on, where you got your hump right in here. You want to make sure. I'm gonna come right here in the front, see if I can't work some of that out just a tad. I done stuck a hole in it now, but sometimes it's best to stick a pick in there and make sure you feel those threads. But come on, my God. So that's the hole that the arm goes in. I think Wesley's got all that stuff around here. I didn't know the camera was up and you couldn't see. Sometimes I have to look for this stuff. This is the tracks for it. You can spray these with metal cast if you want them painted. I think metal cast does good. They don't rust. We will go back and tighten those up. We got the pieces right here. I'm gonna put a couple of discussions on there. It didn't have none, but we do have some laying around. And a discussion is that right there goes in between the seat arm and the seat. That means I can get that right. Right here. It's got these arms on here. The seat really wasn't meant to be let up. The seat was meant to be anchored with a bolt. Got a bolt hole right here. You can see it's got a bolt hole right there that the seat goes in to keep it from, or it would have a latch right here that you could let it up and down. I can feel the bolt hole. So that's what it's. Once I get that in, these. But I think I got it in on this. I can turn it around and show you what it looks like. So anyway, that's basically what it's supposed to look like. I guess that's how to turn a plain Jane truck seat into a one that looks a little bit better. But that's it. That's my Saturday morning venture. Let me see what time is it? Must have dropped my phone somewhere, but anyway, that's the deal. I could take it loose in the front and pull it and pull some of that down, and I might do that. You know, I just think it looks a little better if that right there's pulled down some. So I got a little bit of slack. I could take and pull that down and make the seat actually look better, I think. And probably need to do that. I think I will. I think I'll undo it in the front, take about an inch or so, roll it over, hoggering it back. Anyway, hey, thank y'all for coming in. I know some of y'all's come in, come out, but hey, we'll do it again. You know, that's what I do for a living. So hey, I'm doing it all the time. So I'll let y'all come in and see what's happening. So thanks everybody, and we will see you on the next go around. And thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the likes. See you later.